Hi, I'm Anna. From the title, I bet you can tell what this story is going to be about. Think it's a joke or think I'm exaggerating? A lot of people do. Unfortunately for me, this isn't a joke or an exaggeration. I really can't stop eating my own hair. Let me explain. It all started at the end of last summer. I'd always been one of those high-strung kids. The littlest things could set me off, get me crying and just melting down. It's not that I was weird or anything, just anxious, I guess. And then we moved. I think that was a turning point. I missed all my friends more than I expected, and I felt like a total outsider at school. I didn't know anybody, I didn't know any teachers, nobody was really friendly to me, and I couldn't even find my way around the school. I mean, the new school was just huge and intimidating, and went all the way up to 12th grade, so it was just unnerving. I spent most of my lunch breaks doing homework alone in the library, or wandering around the fields with my headphones in, listening to music. In hindsight, I guess I never really tried to get to know anyone, or make any friends. I don't know, maybe I just assumed that nobody would like me, so I never bothered trying, but soon I realised that just being around people started to make me feel nervous. I mean, just sitting in the classroom with the other kids around made me feel itchy, like I just wanted to jump out of my seat. It was in one of these classes that I first noticed myself chewing on the end of my ponytail. I hadn't even noticed that I had put it in my mouth, but now I was absentmindedly gnawing on it and swirling my tongue around the wet tip. I yanked it out of my mouth and looked around nervously to make sure no one had seen me. Anyone who saw that would think I was weird, for sure. Fortunately, everyone was still focused on the teacher, so I sat up straight and focused too. No big deal, until the next time it happened. I kept finding myself chewing on the end of my ponytail. In class, in the car, even at home when I was doing homework, or more accurately, stressing out about homework. What was wrong with me? I started winding my hair up into a bun so that I couldn't play with it, but somehow, without even noticing, I'd reach up and untwirl it and my hair would go right back into my mouth again. What was going on? I tried really hard not to chew my hair in front of anyone, but when I was alone in my room, I just couldn't stop myself. Actually, it was kind of relaxing. Crunching my hair between my teeth calmed me down and helped me relieve my stress. School was still awful, and now I was even getting into trouble for chewing gum during class. But can you blame me? I mean, at least it was better than chewing on my hair in front of everyone. And that's what my life became. Walking alone, lunch alone, doing my homework alone, panicking alone, and yes, chewing on my hair. It wasn't just my hair though. I wouldn't chew my hair in front of people, but I couldn't stop myself from chewing on my fingernails. Pretty soon, I had bitten them down to these tiny little nubs. My hands looked so disgusting that I got into the habit of keeping them balled into tight fists all the time, so that people wouldn't notice them. I even held my pen all weird so that the tips of my fingers were out of sight. A couple of weeks ago, I was in the living room watching TV with my family, and I started thinking about school. We had to work on a group assignment, and the teacher had to actually assign me a group because I didn't have any friends. I just started thinking about how it was so embarrassing. All the other kids probably thought I was such a freak, the girl with no friends. What if they didn't tell me when they were meeting up to work on the assignment and I got a D? My grades already weren't good as it was. Anna! Mum's voice cut through my frantic thoughts. What? I answered, looking up at her. Why was my voice so strange and muffled? Oh no! I'd been chewing on my hair without even thinking about it. When did you start chewing on your hair? That's a bad habit, she said, frowning. She came over and looked at the tip of my ponytail. Your poor hair! You must have chewed a couple of inches off. It's so ragged. I looked down at the ground, feeling ugly and ashamed. I'm sorry. And, oh Anna, your poor hands! How have I not noticed this? I balled my hands up into their usual fists, but Mum reached out and grabbed them, looking at the red, swollen tips of my fingers and the scabs around my fingernails. I'm sorry, I said, even quieter, feeling tears start to prick at the corners of my eyes. Guys, can you excuse us for a minute? Mum asked softly. and my dad and brother immediately bolted to the kitchen. Mum sat down next to me, wrapping her arms around my shoulders. "Oh, baby, can you please tell me what's going on? Why are you doing this to yourself?" By this point, I was full on sobbing, tears, snot, and all. Mum rubbed my back, like she used to when I was a little kid, until I was ready to talk. "I don't know. I didn't even mean to start doing it, I swear. It just started happening after we moved. And then, I don't know. I didn't mean to, but I couldn't stop. And it makes me feel better. I don't even know why. What's going on at school? Is someone bullying you?" "No, nobody's bullying me, but I'm scared they might. I guess I was just intimidated or something when we moved, and I was scared everybody was going to think I was weird, and that nobody would be my friend. So I didn't even try. I never even talked to anyone. Once I started, I couldn't stop the words from tumbling out. I can't sleep, I don't want to eat, it's so hard to finish homework. Anna, darling, it's okay. I went through something similar when I was your age, feeling really anxious all the time. There are ways to help you, I promise. How about you take the day off school tomorrow and we can start sorting this out." The following day with my mum was the first truly good day I had had in months. She took me to an old-fashioned diner for curly fries on Sundays, and then she took me to the doctor. She knew I was nervous, so she held my hand the whole way in and explained what we were going to do. "You don't have to say anything," she said. "I can explain it all to the doctor." I actually gathered up the courage to explain a little bit of it myself, but it was mostly Mum. She told the doctor about how anxious I was feeling, and the hair chewing, and she got me to show my poor fingers. I was half scared that the doctor would laugh at me, but she was actually really nice. She prescribed me some antibiotic cream and moisturiser for my fingers, and suggested that I wear soft cotton gloves at night, so they had a chance to heal. She said that she thought I had developed an anxiety disorder from the stress of moving and changing schools, and that I had developed what she called tics to cope, like chewing my hair. She prescribed a little mini dose of medication to see if that would help my anxiety, and she referred me to a therapist to talk to, who could teach me some coping strategies. I've only had a couple appointments, but it's been really good. She's teaching me some meditation techniques that I can use when I start to feel the anxiety coming on. Things like deep breathing and focusing on my toes, then my calves, then my knees, then my thighs. She made me practice the technique right there in her office. And she was right, it really did calm me down. I still eat my hair, but the meds are helping, so I'm not doing it as much. And my nails are growing back. I see the therapist every week, and she really thinks I'm progressing. In fact, she's even helping me get the courage to say hi to more people at school and make an effort to fit in. There are a couple girls I sit with at lunch now, and they're really nice. I think they'll be my first friends at this school, and I can't wait to get to know them better. Do I still get anxious sometimes? Yeah, I do. I think it's in my nature. I'm just more worried than most people around me. But that's fine. I'm just so thankful for my mum, and how she didn't make me feel like a weirdo, just listened and understood. Now I know everything's gonna be okay. And what about you? Have you ever struggled with anxiety or a bad habit like biting your nails? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you liked my story, please subscribe to our channel. It helps a lot. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.